gate. For nearly 10 years, we've watched as two species of introduced Asian carp, and those are the big head carp and the silver carp, have moved up the Mississippi River and up the Illinois rivers, and now they're here. They're now at the gates to the Great Lakes, and our action over the next several days is designed to protect those gates.
Since the Corps operates the lock at O'Brien, Colonel Quarles would like to say a few things.
Thank you very much, Cameron. And I think I want to start with the fact that Cameron said that our options are on the table in keeping the Asian carp from migrating to the Great Lakes.
So water comes in here, out the side. So what I have done is dissected out what's in the throat. So this is tucked up in here, okay? And I cut that out. Water goes in here, out through over here. These are the gills right here, so this is where the fish breathes. This right here are called gill rakers. This is the filtering apparatus. This right here strains all the microscopic plants and animals, the plankton, out of the water. And it is highly efficient. You can see it opens up, it takes up the whole throat. The throat is right here where I put my finger. So it strains all that food out of the water. And that's why these are a problem. Asian carp are originally a species from China. What they do is they eat microscopic plants and animals, very tiny plants and animals that live in the water, and they're very, very good at it. And so around 30, 40 years ago in the 1970s, people thought it would be a good idea to bring them into the U.S. and clean up ponds, because the ponds were dirty with these microscopic plants and animals. So they brought these fish over intentionally, thinking that it would do good. And they did a great job cleaning up the ponds, but then they escaped and they started cleaning up the rivers. The problem there is that as they were going through and cleaning the rivers, that is eating all this little food, that's the same food that baby fish eat. And so they started taking all the baby fish food out of the water, and we ended up with fewer baby fish.
I've been an engineer officer within the Corps now for more than 20 years, and it's a great opportunity. I'm also a hard science engineer, so I get to serve our nation, plus also hone my engineer skills. The Corps of Engineers, since George Washington asked the Corps to help the infrastructure of our nation, has been doing so. So it's a structure, it's along one of our waterways, and I also want to make the point that these structures are only part of what is needed to deter Asian carps from getting into the Great Lakes. We recently finished a report that's looking at a new technology where it's a acoustic barrier with strobes of light. Did you know that we're actually going to build solid structures and use some mesh fencing along the Des Plaines River, so the Asian carp can't sneak in that flank and then get back into the canal above the barrier? Have you heard of modified structure operations? Well, that is a look at can locks and dams or other structures be used to deter Asian carp from getting into the Great Lakes, and through the combination of different tools, just like we do in the Army. You don't have just one single tool. You use each tool for what it's meant to do, and by a combination of different agencies using their expertise and different tools along with eDNA, I think the best management decisions can be made.
I have to be honest, I just like fishing down here too, because this is one of the great settings. Got him. And it is a goby. I thought so. Told you the first cats were the downsides that would get them. Now here, the reason I wanted to get this first is originally these were going to destroy the Great Lakes.
And they didn't?
No, they altered it. Now I think they're ugly, but that's me. The bluntness to them, like the tail, and it's just no dignity to it.
What makes something a good sports fish?
Fighting ability, a certain difficulty in catching them, and probably a little bit has to do from years ago would be eating quality, although that's changed a lot over the last 20, 30 years. This is a rock bass, one of the... We actually think this area here holds the state record. We're pretty sure this is not anywhere near the state record. But I kind of like... See, now you were asking a question about a sport fish. Don't you think this is a much more beautiful fish with that eye? And the other thing is the tail is cool, the markings on the body itself are cool. And then there's markings on the fin, which I just think are cool. But I think they're beautiful fish.